Hey everyone, welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to be doing my VCT EMEA Stage 2 playoff pick. I'm just going to go through the whole bracket today, pick who I think is going to make champs, maybe spend a little bit less time on the wider bracket scale and more time on the individual games at the beginning, as I usually end up doing, kind of going into map picks and bans like I usually do with these kind of predictions and stuff like that. So if you guys enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Really helps me out. Also, go check out my Twitter and my Discord. Links are in the description. I do weekly player rankings on there. Now, most of them will be done, to be fair. My Americas ones should be posted by the time this video goes up, but just depends how many games I end up watching today. But yeah, my EMEA ones and my Pacific ones are up. Those will not be reposted, or like there won't be new ones until next season. So, I mean, if you're gonna just go talk about VCT on there, pretty much like with the off season kind of coming up soon with champs, I do tweet about pretty much every roster move that I see, and kind of give my thoughts, especially about the ones that I like actually know about, in terms of players that I know of heading coming into teams and stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of that stuff or just talking about random stuff with me and the community, then go check those out, both my Twitter and my Discord. And then also go check out my Twitch right after I'm recording this. So before I'm posting this, but right after I'm recording this, I'm going to go live doing some America's VOD reviews. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. I also stream on YouTube at the same time, right on this channel. So you can just turn on notifications if you don't like watching on Twitch. But either way, whatever you prefer doing, you can go check that out. But yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so we'll start with these early games, and we'll start with Fnatic versus BBL. I think Fnatic will win this game pretty, I mean, maybe not pretty easily, but I feel pretty good about it. BBL's kind of struggled to beat the top teams in EMEA all year, and I think that'll continue in this game, especially against the Fnatic team, where I kind of struggle to find where their map wins are in this series for BBL. Like, I think if Fnatic will probably ban Corrode, and then maybe BBL can get a win on Sunset. That'd be the one where I feel pretty good about it. But I could also see a world where Fnatic don't ban Corrode and they ban Sunset instead, and they bring out a new Corrode that they haven't shown this entire time, which I think would just beat BBL on Corrode either way, because I don't think BBL's Corrode is very good. I think Fnatic probably wins on Ascent, but that's pretty close. Bind, I definitely think they win. Haven, I think they definitely win. And then Icebox and Lotus are kind of close as well. So, like, there's definitely spots where BBL could get map wins, but I would still favor Fnatic on, like, 6 out of the 7 maps in the pool or something crazy like that. Then we have Giants, Navi. I feel a little bit differently about the series. Like, I think Navi is the better team, and I would favor them to win in this series. They are really weak on a few of their maps. Like, their Corrode and their Sunset are not very good. And then they haven't played Haven, and then they banned Lotus. So they have 3 maps that they, like, genuinely play and are good at. Ascent, which they're really good at. Icebox, which they're really good at. And then Bind, which I think they're pretty decent at. So their map pool isn't a super wide scope, which is the complete opposite of what Giants is, where they're kind of like okay at every map and decent at Icebox. But I think the spots where Navi is good really line up with where Giants would want to pick into. So it just kind of, unless Giants like take a week to prep like one specific map and say we're gonna get really good at this map, I really don't think I see Giants winning the series, especially with like just the kind of momentum that Navi has as well. They're like getting a lot better. Their individuals are really hitting, which is a little bit of a weakness for Giants, where I think they're more of like we're really well coordinated. We know what we're doing. We have a good game plan, and we can come in and win. They still have good players, but I don't think Giants is like to the level that Navi is. Then these upper semifinals games, I didn't really go into the map bans with these ones, but I feel pretty good about them. I would pick Heretics and Liquid here. I think Heretics are just in a little bit better form than Fnatic right now, even though I think the map pool does line up pretty well for Fnatic against Heretics. Like, I mean, obviously Heretics, best team in the world on Haven. I would favor them against anybody on that map. But when you get into like Lotus, maybe a Bind. I think Fnatic could float Corrode against them as well. Ascent, I think Fnatic probably wins on as well. Like, you if Fnatic comes back and is like truly trying and like really going for the win in EMEA playoffs, I think they could win this game. But I feel pretty good about Heretics, and then I just feel good about Liquid beating Navi in this lower final or in this lower or the lower side of the upper bracket, I guess. Um, then we'll just do the upper final here. I think Heretics wins this game. They do just like going to the finals through uppers within EMEA at least. I mean, I guess I think they lost this game against Fnatic, right? Last time? Let's see. Let me look it up. EMEA. They did lose that game against Fnatic in pretty blowout fashion. So, I think it's like here or there, depending. I'm gonna pick Heretics in that game though to I think officially qualify them for champs. They probably were already here anyway, but still. Then we have BBL Carmine Core. I think BBL is just the better team. I'm not gonna go into the map bans with that one. I didn't really do it for any of the other games here. I have the map pool spreadsheet on my second monitor in case I need it, but I feel pretty good about this pick. And then Giants Vitality. This one's really close because it's like I want to pick Vitality for the same reasoning that I picked Navi over Giants, but also I think Giants is just overall the better team. But I am going to pick Vitality in this game with a bit of an upset. I think their experience in these playoff scenarios, in terms of Durka and Les, they're better individuals. Also in terms of Durka and Les, but also Kovac, I think, is very good and would be one of the better players on Giants. At least mechanically in terms of just the shooting aspect. Um, who else is on that team? I think like you could see a Kicks comeback where he just looks really good in this series. Like there's a lot of ways Vitality could win this. And then like looking at their map pools, let me hold on. Let me move these over here. Like Vitality, I'd say wins on Haven, Giants win on Icebox, and then it's like maybe a Lotus or Ascent or Bind or Sunset, like something in there where it's pretty close between the two teams, and I'd pick Vitality. So yeah, we'll go with Vitality. It's not like it matters too much because I would think either team loses to Fnatic in this game. I just think Fnatic's the better team than both of those teams, and they have on par individuals at like you could say that they have on par individuals, and that would be an understatement for Vitality. Like I think they've just overall the better roster, the better team, all that kind of stuff. And then BBL Navi, I actually do want to look at the map pool for these two teams and just go through it because I didn't go through it when I picked it before, and I actually picked BBL. Like I what I do with the brackets is I take the bracket on my second monitor and I go through and I pick it before I do it here. But actually, I do want to go through the map pool for this game because I do think this is pretty close. So Navi would ban Lotus. Navi ban Lotus. Also, if you are interested in having this like and looking at this like map pool ranking spreadsheet that I have, I did post it on my Discord, so you can go check that out. Add that out if you are interested. If I could talk. But yeah, Navi would ban Lotus. The thing is, I think both teams are bad at Corrode. BBL would probably ban Icebox though. I think that would be the smart idea. And Navi would pick uh, Icebox, or no, they just banned Icebox. I'm stupid. Ascent, I think, probably that or Bind, but BBL's played Bind once and looked okay at it. Then BBL would pick Sunset. I think both teams would win their map picks. Navi would win Ascent. BBL would pick Sunset, or would win Sunset, which they picked. Then Navi bans Haven, since they haven't played it at all. BBL bans Bind. And Corrode remains, which I actually think Navi would win. Oh. And I feel pretty good with how that would go. So it would be Navi ban Lotus, BBL ban or banned Icebox, Navi pick Ascent, BBL pick Sunset, Navi wins Ascent, BBL wins Sunset. I feel pretty good about both of those. A little less so about Navi winning Ascent. Navi ban Bind, Navi ban Haven, BBL ban Bind. Then Corrode remains, which I think Navi would win, even though both teams aren't very good at it. And I think it would be pretty close. Uh, I just think BBL's gonna win though. I think Navi will win. I'm gonna pick Navi. I'm gonna do what I feel better about with the map pool. I wish I didn't look at it. I would have felt so much better about picking BBL if I didn't look at the map pool. But then Fnatic I have beating Navi, Fnatic beating Liquid, Fnatic beating Heretics to make the final and win. I mean, I did pretty much this last time, except I think I had Fnatic going from a huge. Where did I? Stage 1. What did I have in my Pickems? I did have Fnatic doing the same thing, going from lower round 2 all the way to the grand finals and winning. Um, yeah. So I don't feel great about this pick, mostly because I think it means that BBL wouldn't make champs, and it would be Navi instead. Let's see. Look here for full list. So the top 3 would be your normal top 3, with Liquid getting 4 points. So up to 16. Heretics and Fnatic qualing through the grand final. And then the last team would be Navi getting a +3, which would put them up to 9 and 1 point ahead of BBL, who has 8. So yeah, this would have Navi making champs, which I think isn't that bad. Like I think BBL, Navi are pretty close, and then I think there's a little bit of a gap between them and the rest of the other teams. But I still think some of the other teams can make it as long as thing is the other teams are like Giants and Vitality that I think could make it, and then they would have to beat Fnatic or Heretics here to actually make it uh to the grand final. So it's possible. I mean, they would even need to beat Fnatic to make top 3, or Fnatic or Heretics to make top 3. So not great. I mean, unless BBL wins this game, which could make things weird, but I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of my pickups in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.